Everyone, welcome, welcome back. I got someone very special. I've been really looking forward to get around. So yeah, you don't recognize who this is. Uh, also, you're probably on the wrong channel because this is Karlach from Baldur's Gate. You don't recognize him already. He's a fantastic character, voice and motion acted by the incredible Sambayat. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna get right on it. I love Karlach. Karlach is a wonderful character. I'm just gonna tweak my sound a little bit so you all can hear me alright, hopefully. Hopefully I've not muted myself by accident or anything stupid like that. So yeah, these are the models that I've been waiting the better part of a month for. Well, this and there is another model who will be worked on after Karlach. So this will probably take me a couple of streams. This is part one of 3, maybe more. I am going to be working on this to the best of my ability. This character deserves nothing less. So I hope you all are ready for a long process here.
Bucket_boy101 just subscribed. Hello Jinxie.
3 baby 4, hey Magic, welcome in. I'm Bucket, hello. Thank you so much for the resub. Prime as well, I really appreciate that. Thank you. How's it going? Bucket, how's Cyberpunk? Got the word for it then. And Magic, I hope you enjoyed your holiday. I saw from Clive's server that you were away for a few days, but I hope you had a good time. You're at work now? Getting a bit more light in here for myself. See what I'm doing. Well, I hope work's not being too bad for you. And then I really do hope you had a good time. Yeah, I've been looking forward to these models for a long time. Obviously they're not official. I will be supporting Larian as soon as they bring out official statues, but I had to work on something for my favourite game of all time. And when I saw these, I fell in love with them. I hope you're having a good day, Magic. Okay, still working out that second playthrough? Sounds good to me. Are you working on the, I don't know if I asked already. Are you doing the DLC as well? Phantom Liberty, is it? Like I said, this is going to get the best of my ability. Because that's what Karlach deserves. She deserves the best of the best. Of the very best. I'm going to be working on this probably right the way through to the end of February. Depending on how long it takes me. And I'm not going to rush it. You don't have the DLC. Oh, fair enough. That makes perfect sense, Bucket. I was just curious. My partner played through the game both when it first came out and when all of the fixes went in. But she's not gone through Phantom Liberty yet, so curious what you were going to make of it, but makes total sense. Indy, welcome in. Good to see you. How's it going? Buy a car like you do. You do indeed. This is one of the models that I've been waiting on, and I am so glad. This is the first new model I get to work on in a year. Can't really get better than Karlach, can you? She's just a fantastic character. Are you ready for next weekend, Indy? Speaking of next weekend, actually, my schedule next week will probably be a little bit different, because I will be busy on the Sunday, so I'll probably be painting on Saturday next week. For those who will want to see the next part of the glory that is Karlach. Just as a heads up for that, I won't be streaming next Sunday, it'll be Saturday instead. I got a busy old weekend coming up. No, so something else. I don't know. My week next week is very busy, so just keep an eye out for the schedule. I was just talking about how Karlach was probably the most self-aware, but also not. Like she's very much like Deadpool in Baldur's Gate, in a way, in that she just blasts the Fawful to smithereens at every opportunity. But at the same time, she doesn't really necessarily see herself in purest light. So yeah. She's one of those impossible to love people. Impossible not to love people. The mining, crafting with the goal of owning a house in the lavender beds. Ooh. You going in for the next house lottery in Final Fantasy, Indy? Well, good luck. I hope you get it. So all I'm doing here is just evening up that first layer of paint. Making sure there's no lodges or bits that I've missed. Same old in that regard. You have the 3 mil needed to fit on a small plot? Nice! Well, best of luck. When is it? When will you find out if you've got it? Begins in 5 hours. That's not too long. Oh, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you, Indy. Metaphorically speaking, of course. I hope you get the plot that you want. I hope that you're happy with the results. I want to hear the news of more Baldur's Gate, to be honest. That's all I'm looking forward to, gaming wise. Just whether it's a DLC, whether it's a sequel game, I don't mind which. I'm happy to wait as long as it takes. I just want to know that there's more. I want to know that we're not done with these characters. I have faith in Larian. I know that they don't normally do DLC. But I have faith that Larian know what they're doing, that they are looking into it, and that whatever they come up with, because I feel like as a business, even ignoring everything else about Larian that I know, even as a business decision, they would be ridiculously short-sighted to not capitalize on this. So I think they will do something with these characters and these actors. Whether it's a side story, whether it's a sequel, prequel, I don't know. I don't know anything about the plot, but I think that we have not seen the last of this cast, which makes me insanely happy. And I think there are probably a lot of discussions at Larian at the moment going, okay, we've got lightning in a bottle here, what do we do with it? We return to goes, yeah, so you're around. I look forward to it. I look forward to it, Indy. I will say the Sword Coast is my home. And has been since I was very young. I did pick up Baldur's Gate 2 over Christmas. So if I ever get tired of Baldur's Gate 3, I'm gonna go and return back to them and see. Or maybe if there's a one-off situation that needs to happen on stream, maybe I'll start Baldur's Gate 2. I should return in Baldur's Gate 4. I'd be happy with any of it, Indy, honestly. Or OBJ. No. You know you don't need to do any of that magic. I never expect or require bits, subs, donations, tips, whatever you want to call it. I don't expect or require any of that. I'm just happy you all are here. Happy to be. I think there's a couple of ways they could go. I think they might do a side thing where you're in like Waterdeep or somewhere like that. And oh, jeez. Oh, Indy. Thank you so much for gifting us up to Hen. Thank you so much. I know Hen will appreciate all the hard work on those emotes. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. Hen deserves all the good things. I'm playing a lot of Palworld. I really wish I could enjoy Palworld because it is exactly my kind of game. You know, survival, open world, crafting, kind of goofy, but just the whole all of the accusations against it and the plagiarism and just the blatant rip-offs. I'm like, I can't support that game in good conscience. Even if the AI claims are not proven or are proven to be false, there is enough plagiarism there that I am not comfortable playing it. Because ultimately, I'd be a hypocrite. Like, my job is to protect IP in general, intellectual property. You know, and while I don't work for the Pokemon Company or Nintendo in that role, I would feel like such a screaming hypocrite if I did play it. I'd love to play Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep. Yeah, I would do. Honestly, Waterdeep, go up to Rashomon, go to, you know, Cormier, go... I don't mind. Just the Sword Coast is a vast and wonderful place. Just as long as it's, you know, we get to see these wonderful characters again. Yeah, even if they don't necessarily bring back all of them, you know, for various reasons. Or if they did like a Witcher 3 where, you know, your previous choices matter, and then do a follow-on, that would be really cool. Yeah, there's so many options they could do. You don't accidentally clip, get a sub. How clumsy, Andy. You should get that checked. You don't want to accidentally do that. You don't want to be doing that, Indy. That's terrible. You should really get that checked into. Sounds like a terrible, terrible mistake. Thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it. I don't know, I think a side campaign, so to speak, would be really interesting, that runs alongside or just before or just after Baldur's Gate. I feel like the epilogue might make that tricky. I think the epilogue was their way of going, hey guys, whatever we do next, it's not going to be alongside. Like, it's not going to be a parallel story. I don't think it's going to be set in the same era, whatever they do. If they do, it will be a different set of characters. So if they do, like, you know, the events of Baldur's Gate 3, but in Waterdeep, it will be different characters. We won't see what the cast that we love. And I think that they would want to capitalize on how much everyone loves, you know, Karlach, Astarion, Gale. Play it, don't play it. I appreciate that, Magic. I would feel like one. But I'm glad everyone else is having fun with it. I'm glad everyone else is having fun with Pal World. Like I said, it's one of those things of, if I'm gonna play a game like that... Oh yeah, Enshrouded's coming out. Or is out. I think it's out now. Equally, that looks like a phenomenal game with really cool elements and stuff like that. But they haven't ripped off a massive IP to do it. And I'm like... if I'm gonna spend my money and support devs, I'm gonna support devs who work ethically, who, you know, have similar values, who produce great games, who may or may not be Larian. It's like, yeah, I have to vote with my conscience on this one. Some plans for next week? Yeah, I got a couple of plans indeed. There's something D&D one shot. I'm very much looking forward to that. Rolling dice for the first time in far too long. That'll be great. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what Case has got in store for us. Super excited to see how everyone's character goes. And then I'm gonna be out with my partner all day Sunday. And next weekend is also when I'm gonna be battling it out for a batch of plane shift candles. Which probably doesn't mean a lot to most of you, but they're Baldur's Gate 3 inspired scents. They're so good. Oh my goodness. They're incredible candles. And I badly want some. Currently aiming for the full set. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like, this is gonna sound really daft, but ever since the new job kind of kicked in, I've just been feeling so much better about myself in general. Like mentally, I'm doing so much better than I have been for a long time. And that's the thing. This job is hard work. It's not the perfect job. I love it, and I genuinely don't think there is a better job out there that I could be doing. There are bits of it I don't like. There are bits that are not fun. Just like any job, but that's work and that's life. But I love what I do for a living, and I've not been able to say that for an extremely long time. I'm actually proud of the work that I'm doing there. Well, like in the grand scheme of things, people might think that games don't matter, but I think I'm in good company when I say games do matter. Remember duty, I summons Jira. Okay, I will say, Minsk smells incredible. Disappointed the Karlach isn't human sized, same. I would love to paint a human sized Karlach model. But we make do, right? Welcome in, Corax. Good to see you. We all want uppies from Karlach. Needed a change in environment, yeah. I desperately needed not just environment, but just a change in I guess culture as well. I'm still getting culture shock from this new team in a good way. You know, I'm not expected to account for every second of the day. I'm not expected to be constantly chained to my desk while I'm working. They just have a lot more of a realistic and pragmatic approach to work. And at the end of the day, as long as I meet my deadlines, and as long as I'm available for meetings when I'm supposed to be, yeah, they don't care. Yeah, if I need to stop for 15 minutes because, you know, someone's knocking at my door and won't go away, they'll do that. They're like, yeah, go deal with life things, you know. It's not treated like the end of the world if I need to take a day off for a doctor's appointment. Which sounds terrible, but at the same time, like, I've spent so long in environments where it is treated like a big deal if you need to have a doctor's appointment, where you need to ask permission to leave your desk for 10 minutes. All this sort of thing. So... Oh, no worries, Magic. Take it easy. Thank you so much for stepping in. I really, really appreciate it. It's always lovely to see you. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful weekend. Thick thighs destroy lives. Karlach is... We all love Karlach here. Being scooped up by a 17-year-old tiefling woman. The thing is, Indy, I both want to be scooped up and I want to be the tiefling woman. I would lose my mind if I met Sanbei out. And if I met Karlach for real as well. But huge fan of what Sam does. What they do is amazing. It would be a combination of the two. It would be super blush giggling. Because I blush shockingly easily for someone who is not actually that sensitive to stuff. And, I wouldn't giggle like a child at being picked up by a 7-foot tall individual. There are folks in this community who can attest to how I react to being picked up. They've witnessed it. Speaking of, hey Ozzy! Welcome in. Good to see you. And do you want to be picked up? Who doesn't want to be picked up by Karlach? That magnificent woman. I meant what I said, Ozzy. I'm planning to get strong enough to pick you up in return. My tiny ass will get revenge at one point or another. Even if it takes me a decade. Don't you get surprised? You know, you're barely 70. I mean, oh, sorry about the ads. I swear, mod should be immune to ads. Bullshit. Um. Anyway. Welcome back. I am trying to get strong enough to pick you up, Ozzy. No matter how long it takes. Though, you definitely have the height advantage in that one. I will concede there. I will never get the height advantage back. Oh my goodness. Indy! Indy, what are you doing? Thank you so much for gifting Ozzy a sub. I appreciate it. Ozzy, I hope you enjoy your pandas. They're yours for the next 30 days. And even better, no more ads. I think Ozzy is the only person who has successfully managed to pick me up without making it sound like he's dying. Which I was very impressed by, I'll be honest. I'm not a slight individual. You're just tall, Ozzy, that's all. You're tall. I'll get there though. I will get there. Are you gonna pay it? So I was looking into this, not for Karlach, but just in general. I don't know what the Twitch rules would be on me painting nude models. To be perfectly honest, I don't know. I'm also going to assume no. But we'll see. Maybe I'll have to start an OnlyFans just to paint nude models on there. But this model is just a torso, sadly. If we get the option to get more models in the future like this, I'll try and get a full body one. Indeed, thank you again so much. Avoiding me. You don't need to do that. My fans need to have a better streaming service. I'm fine with that. I'm not seriously considering it at the moment. I will never say never, but I think that'll be an avenue I look into when I'm looking to do this more full time, which currently unlikely to happen now, to be honest. As much as I would love to be a full-time streamer, I think I have to accept the fact that it's not going to happen for me. And just relax and enjoy what I can. Which is fine. Like, I'm not sad about it. I enjoy what I can do. I love the community we've got. I wouldn't risk it for the world. If we get to a point where full-time streaming is feasible, that's cool. If we don't, that's so cool. Happy with what I do with time, you know? Air fryer is the best thing? Ah, you're also in the air fryers. So, I'm gonna go on a bit of a side ramble here. I have heard so much about air fryers, and they sound great. I love the idea of them, but I really wish recipe designers would label air fryer recipes, because I am so sick of going through a recipe and being like, oh yeah, this looks great, and then halfway down they just casually throw in the whole, oh yeah, now get out your air fryer. I'm like, piss off. Not everyone's got an air fryer. Stop assuming everyone has an air fryer. It puts me right off the recipe if I see that. Label your dang air fryer recipes. I had to scroll past your life story to get to this recipe. Please have the kindness to label it as an air fryer recipe before I waste that time. Air fryers and instant pots as well. Recipe writers drive me nuts with both of those because they keep hiding the fact that you need them. Yeah, pet peeve of mine. They look amazing. I don't own one. They look fantastic. That every time a recipe writer hides the fact you need one, it pushes back me getting one by several weeks. nope, I'm not getting one on principle now. Screw you. I'll stick with my oven. Air fry potato wedges. Sound amazing. I can make potato wedges in the oven now. I'm really sad though. I'm nearly out of homegrown potatoes. They lasted me all winter. Nearly. But I'm almost out. So I have to plant some more soon. But we're not quite out of the frost yet here, so I need to wait until the frosts are done before I can plant anything outside again. It just won't grow, it'll just rot in the ground if I plant now. Did air fry chips? Nice. I do homemade chips and wedges quite a lot. You'll be proud of me. I'm making homemade chicken parmesan. Like Australian style. Actually. I think I've got that planned for. I'm looking forward to doing it because I haven't had one in ages. It is an ages. I can never remember if it's meant to be Parma or Palmy. Something else entirely. Know that whenever I try it, I get told off by someone. Isn't British winter all year round? Yeah, it is indeed. The only difference is that when it's not winter, when it's warm winter, you just don't get as much frost. Palmer. Palmy. Either way, I'm making one tomorrow. Only Victorians say it wrong? I see. That makes sense. Also, Palm. I'm not doing the US one. I think the one I've heard the most is Parma. With an A. But then again, I think most of the Aussies I know are Victorian. So that would probably make sense. Epic, hello! Welcome in. It is good to see you. How's it going? I hope your face is okay. I might accidentally open like a big can of worms here with the pronunciation question. Not Victorian? I know you're not Aussie, but most of the Australians I know are. I think in order of magnitude, I know most of the Aussies I know are from Melbourne, specifically Melbourne area. Then Brisbane, and then other areas. In a few years, there'll be more Victorians in other states, so Palmer will be objectively correct by majority vote. I'm fine with that. Say Brisbane. Yeah. My city's going the other way. I would say where I live is getting smaller. Definitely feels it. There's a lot of empty shops these days. Did Des move to Melbourne? I believe he is. He did used to live in Geelong, but he moved. I don't know exactly where he is now, but he's still in the Melbourne area. Geelong's not that far away. Even I would say Geelong was very close to Melbourne. Everyone moving to London. I think everyone's just getting out of the UK, to be honest, Bucket. I don't blame him. It's not going good for my little island, unfortunately. It's like businesses are moving out. They're moving to like Dublin and places like that where they get better rates. And people are leaving because it's getting worse every day, fortunately. They said to feel small. Yeah, hard to judge. Must epic. But there is a general election coming up this year, so I'm hopeful that that might prove the start of positive change. Not very hopeful, mind you, after 13 plus years of having our country ransacked, but that's just getting political. My heart has been attempted to move to London. I would not recommend living in the UK. In good conscience, I cannot recommend it. Okay. It just, yeah. It's not a good place. I'd love to move to Melbourne. I fell in love with Melbourne when I visited. Would love to move there. I would love to move to just another country in general. But yeah, one of those things. For now, I'm happy to settle to being a frequent visitor till things shake out. Be working in the EU? Nice. What, whereabouts in the EU were you thinking, Bucket? Like, Central Europe or anywhere else? Like I worked in France for a little bit, and I say a very little bit. That was a good experience. I've spent a lot of time in France. As long as you avoid Paris, then you're good in France. But it is a real help if you speak French. And actually, I would say anywhere you go in Europe, speak more than one language, you'll be better off. Most people speak English, but most places in Europe appreciate it if you make an effort with their language. From what I've seen. I've been to Spain, France.
Chai_08 just subscribed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Wait, 60 months? 5 years. Holy shit, Chaya. Holy crap. Thank you so much. And welcome in, it's so good to see you. I hope you're well. Really hope you're doing well. I miss playing Ark with you. Germany? Nice. I've never been to Germany myself. But I'd love to visit. It looks great. Wait, why avoid Paris? Unfortunately, the stereotypes about Paris, in my experience, have been very accurate. So despite the fact that I speak French very, very well, I do speak with an English accent. So, even though I can go to Paris, make myself perfectly understood, all of the times that people have been rude to me about my French have been in Paris. And this is like people who are in service jobs and things like that. So like, I've had people be rude to me to my face while I've been ordering drinks, for example. And they are very, very, very difficult, I found. And again, this is just my experience. Maybe I just got super unlucky. But I've been to Paris a couple of times and it's been the same every time. The best experience I've had would be when I was actually in Belgium. But it was right on the French border. And they were lovely. They were so wonderful there. So if I was going to move anywhere, I would probably move to Belgium rather than France. In Germany, I'll come back to a decent level. Yeah, definitely. Immersion's great for languages. I wouldn't speak French anywhere near as well as I do if I hadn't gone over there for a bit. You pick up on a lot of stuff that you'll never get taught as well. Sass them, whatever. I mean, I sassed them. That's the thing. I speak French well enough that I can sass them in their own language and put them in their place. But it's the fact that it was necessary in the first place that bothered me. But that's not my experience in all of France. Specifically Parisians that I seem to encounter that attitude with. Brittany has some great there's some really lovely people. Because again, they were just happy I was trying. I remember one conversation in a cafe in a tiny little village in Brittany. It was just off the coast. I mean, like, my parents don't speak as much French as I do. I speak the best French in my family. And I'm not saying that's a brag, I'm just saying that's the fact of the matter. And the cafe owners could see that I was telling my parents, like translating for my parents. So the cafe owners spoke to my parents in English, because they spoke perfectly good English. And then when it came to me, they actually talked to me in French. And they were like, oh, your French is really good, because I was maybe like 14, 15 at the time, something like that. like, oh, your French is really good. You know, you got this word wrong, but you're doing really, really well. Don't let it get to you. That kind of thing. And they were really lovely. And that's the more common attitude in France, I would say. Outside of Paris, that's what you normally get. Um, I mean, there are some places in France where no one speaks a word of English. But they're really friendly and welcoming if you try. And that's the key thing. If they see you make the effort, that's when they'll be friendly to you. Otherwise, they're just like, tourist. So yeah, make the effort. And most people I found are really lovely about it. Anyway, that's my ramble. Yeah, it was really cool. I've had some really cool experiences because I've made an effort to try and at least say please and thank you in the language that I'm supposed to speak in that country. You're very fortunate. How's filled your arc itch? I'm glad that it's filling the itch for you, Chaya. But I have missed our group. I'm looking at Enshrouded, to be honest. Enshrouded looks amazing. I don't know if you've seen any of Thessa's streams on it, but it looks amazing. Definitely recommend that one. Can't speak our language. You can try, but if you don't feel comfy, you just start speaking your own expect no. True, correct. Most countries in Europe that I visited, people will have at least a basic understanding of English. As a general rule, I've found that most places, folks will appreciate an effort. Even if you get it hopelessly wrong, folks will appreciate it if you try. And I think that's what a lot of people get wrong. They're like, oh, I don't speak the language. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna learn hello or please and thank you or basic stuff. I don't know it. I'm not gonna try it. Blah. Silly. Correct. Thank you for the pasta check. I hope everyone's sitting comfortably. Don't forget to stretch. Don't forget to take a walk around the room if you have been sat down a while. You've to Hobart? What's Hobart? I know Hobart's a place in Oz. I don't know anything about it. 31-degree weather. Oof. I suffered when we had that here in the UK last year. I really suffered. What is it here at the moment? 6 degrees currently. At 11 a.m. Bearing in mind it is our winter though, not summer. For the first time this stream, I am changing colour. A little farm and self-produce. I love that idea as a I think that's my retirement plan at this point. I love my current job too much. But if for any reason I couldn't work in licensing anymore, in the kind of role that I do, that's my retirement plan. Start up a little farm, sell produce at the local farmers market, live somewhere with wicked internet connections so I can still keep in touch. Just vibe. Just simple life. Make sure I earn enough to travel, that's it. Travel, keep a roof over my head, that's all I really want. Oh, it's the capital of Taz. Okay. I did not know it was that small. Tasmania is another place I really want to visit. Yes, for the Tasmania Devils. But mainly because I think that's such a cool animal. And I very, very nearly moved there after uni to study the contagious cancers in Tasmanian devils. And it is one of the few things I regret not doing in my life. I feel like my life would have been very different if I'd pursued that. But I do love my current life, so I can't complain too much. Any bad experience when you were at Train Central? Ask people working there at the info point. Wow, really, Corax? Wow, that is just nasty. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. That is nasty. I've dealt with some shit like that, but again, it was mainly like people being rude about my family because we were talking in English. They usually shut up when I turned around and told them to shut up in French. Gross. Oh, train station in Cologne. Not gonna lie, folks, I'm really tempted to go to TwitchCon Rotterdam. Mainly just because I want an excuse to travel. I really just want to go on holiday. Win, hello, welcome in. So good to see you. How are you doing? Your new Dark Urge is ridiculously cute, by the way. Not fair. And also congratulations on the driver's test. Proud of you. The dungeon you just ran, BC? What happened in the dungeon? Hey, Ozzy. Imagine if you knew someone who could paint minis for them. Imagine if you knew someone who knew a lot about painting minis, huh? I don't mind saying this now, I'm no longer in the job, but my old job was literally a hobby advisor for Games Workshop. I used to professionally advise people on how to paint minis. I think that is one of the most unique aspects of my CV. I'm literally used to get paid to tell people how to paint. Yeah, I know how to help people get started, as well as painting them for commission. My job literally used to be helping people pick out colours and paint brushes and, you know, teaching people how to get specific techniques. That was a big part of my old job. And that was honestly my favourite part, was teaching people how to paint. Wanna go somewhere this year? Yeah, excuse me, sorry. I would say Corax with London. It depends what section of London you go to. London Centre is very overwhelming, very busy. Some of the other areas are not too bad. But the tourist area of London is rough, I'll give you that. But if you do go to London, I'll be happy to help out. I went down there for the Critical Role live show recently. So Yeah, that was like my once every 3-year trip, but I'll make an exception if any of you lot come down. I'm not a huge fan of London just because of how busy it is. Very, very busy. Very difficult to navigate sometimes. Do people ring up and ask how's pay XYZ? Yep. Yep. They'd be like, hi, I got this for Christmas. I got a small mod for Christmas, but I don't know how to paint it. Help. And I would sit there for, however long they needed, and I would guide them through it. It was great. I loved doing that for people. Or they'd be like, I've got a new Tyranid army, and I'm picking Tyranids because there's one sat on my desk in front of me. I got a new Space Marine army, and I don't know what chapter to paint them as. I don't know what colour scheme to use for my new demons. And I'd sit there and be like, cool, what colours do you like? What sort of demons have you got? Have you got any paints before? Have you tried it before? And yeah, part of my job was sales, but honestly, the main part of it was actually just getting people started. Because a lot of people see how many paints Games Workshop sell and go, oh, I don't understand any of this. And they panic. Whereas, they just needed a little bit of a helping hand to break it all down for them. And it was really fun. Really, really fun. But yeah. You ever need hobby advice, literally former professional hobby advisor. Cannot guarantee that it will be safe for your wallet, but I will give you sound advice. Did you usually suggest chapters or just colours? Oh my goodness. Why is chat moving so quickly today? Holy crap. I look away for 2 minutes. I don't know what's going on with the tablet going down. Aww. I'm sorry, BC. It's always frustrating. Get to the UK. Yes. Yes. Bugman's is worth the trip up. Bucket, if you make it up to Bugman's, I will personally take you around HQ. You will get the guided tour. I'm gonna keep that in mind. No worries. Just drop me a message, Corax. I'll be happy to help. Ozzy, I also want to visit Hobbiton. That is on my bucket list, I will be honest. Rainbow Nids? Yeah. There's a few different rainbow ones. I'm honestly tempted to repaint my Nids. Because the paint scheme is a little bit bland. My Tyranids. Probably the biggest army I own now. I've downsized quite a lot of my collection. Because I've kind of shifted my hobbying to more one-off models like this. And I am also going to be getting into Age of Sigmar, probably. Which is the fantasy version of 40k if anyone's interested. If I don't make sense at any point, please speak up. Please don't feel stupid. Because I know I talk fast. And sometimes use a lot of jargon. Tried eating rocks. Oh my goodness. Alright, need to catch up. Did I usually suggest chapters for Space Marines? That worked. Both. So sometimes people will come up and be like, hey, I want to paint Ultramarines, but I don't know what they look like. So I'd help them with that because there are specific colours. Or they'd be like, I just want to paint Space Marines. I don't really care what colours, what works with this. So it's both. Basically, anything you can think of about the hobby in terms of painting, I can guarantee I've answered at least one question on it. But yeah, mini painting is so much more accessible. Even since I got into the hobby, it's so much better than that. You are. You're all wonderful. And yeah, absolutely. If anyone in chat right now, if you ever have a painting question, I would genuinely like to help. So please do message me. DMs are open. Love to just hang for a day at Warhammer World? Absolutely, Beckett. Anytime. Open invite. Let me know. But yeah, I mean, obviously, considering my last job, I got a lot of friends at Warhammer World. My last job was partly based out Warhammer World, so yeah. I can absolutely guide a tour and all the rest of it. Might even be able to twist arms for some exclusive stuff. Areas of where the bodies are charcoal. Oh, I've not seen that, Chai. That sounds cool. Like Warriors. I'm a Gene Stealer fan. I love Gene Stealers. Gene Stealer cults. So I wanted at one point to do a massive combined force of Tyranids and Gene Stealer cults. But rules changed and I never got around to it. Fantasy 40k. Yeah, the rules for AOS are pretty good. So, okay. CV time. My last job was officially live chat hobby advisor, basically. So, while painting was the big bulk of it, the other part of it was rules questions. And the main reason I left is because those duties got reduced quite drastically due to customer service issues, to put it bluntly. But that's beside the point. My main job, my main role was to introduce and guide people through the hobby in all aspects. So rules, painting, units, army composition, lore, all of that. And I loved it. I loved that part of the job. It was great. Yeah, the rules for AOS I think are a lot more straightforward than 40k. They're a lot more accessible. Thank you for the hydro, by the way. Definitely need that. And my new team mainly play AOS, the team I currently work with. A lot of them play AOS, so I'm getting my arm twisted to join them. And Sons of Bahamut. Big stompy giant guys really appealed to me. Aw, I'm sorry, BC. Sucks. Still jealous of that one thing. Cool. I'd love that. I'd love to take some folks around, honestly. Yeah. That's the thing, with all of its flaws, there are still some amazing aspects to working in that old job that I do miss. But you know, it's one of those things. So this should be a command for rolls. That is something I plan to set up, Corax. I've not gotten around to it yet. How did I get started with mini painting? So I got started with mini painting because my partner gave me one of the Warhammer 40k books. For those who are interested, it's one of the Caiaphas Cain novels. I really enjoyed it, and it started talking about Tyranids, which ooh, do I have one nearby that I can show you? Nope, that's not good. One moment. I have one. If you want to know what sort of thing a Tyranid is, it's something like this. Big bug-like, alien-looking guys. It mentioned these guys, and I just thought they were really cool. So next time I was at Games Workshop with my partner, we got twisted into I got twisted into picking up some of those. I started painting them, really enjoyed them, and yeah, the rest is history. The Caiaphas Cain novels are fantastic. They are like Blackadder in the 40k universe. I've read all of them. Thoroughly recommend them. I think they're a great way to get introduced to the hobby, but also just great for anyone who's a 40k fan. They've got omnibuses now, Bucket. They're the better way to read them. They're a bit more wallet friendly, if you catch my drift. Samurai character. You can get samurai. I think Reaper Minis have some Aussie, and they have an Australian store. It is cool. Yeah, salamanders are cool to try and intimidate. I'm looking forward to next weekend. Did you have access to a law dictionary? No, just my knowledge bucket. Like my own knowledge and Google, basically. That's what I had to rely on. I have access to more in-depth knowledge for my current role for the universe that we work in. You didn't overwhelm me, BC. I haven't had time to properly read through it yet, but thank you very much. It was fantastic. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, like, I'm sorry I didn't respond. I just haven't had a time to properly sit down and read through it. I think I might have watched a couple of the ones on there. but there are definitely some new ones. Nids and Space Monks, yes. I also like Space Wolves. Don't judge me. I like Space Wolves. Who doesn't like Space Vikings? We genetically enhanced ourselves purely so we can get drunk. Like, that's my level of chaos. Feeling around a little omnibus or two? Definitely. Thousand Suns? Nice. Thousand Suns are cool. But yeah, like I said, I like Space Wolves. Don't judge me. uh, 247 different series? Holy, that's a lot of series. I don't like Space Wolves. Understandable. I love the aesthetic of Thousand Suns. I love the like ancient Egypt vibe, but yeah, Space Wolves got there first for me. They're very cool. I only have a small force of them, which I will probably reduce to maybe 1 or 2 models in the future. Just like keep my favourites and get rid of the rest. They are very cool. I think I'm probably getting rid of mine just purely because I don't play 40k enough to warrant having 3 separate armies. Yeah. God, I kind of lost track of where I was at. There was so much going on. Yeah. Like I said, this hobby of mine is used to be my livelihood. Like I used to be a professional painter in a non-traditional sense. So when I say I'm happy to help out with hobby work, I genuinely am. I used to do it for a living. And it's probably the only part of my old job that I really miss is the experience of being the one who helps people with their first army. It was really cool. It was really, really cool getting to introduce people to the hobby. Like, hearing them get excited about it. And then the best part is when they come back a few weeks later and like, hey, so I did all those things that you said, and look at what I've done. And it's like a really cool conversion or a really cool like beginner force of something, and you just sat there like, hey, that's awesome. And it's just a genuine moment of like hobby solidarity. And you're like, yeah, I helped you do that. That's wicked. Those are the best moments. Genuinely. Just getting people into the hobby and then having them come back and be like, thank you for your help, look at what we did together. Now can you help me with the next step, because I don't know what to add to my army, was usually the next question. What's the third army? Wolves, Nerds, Death Guard. Fuck it. Death Guard and Nurgle Demons specifically. Hey, Satire! Yes. We're talking Warhammer. I don't know if you know, but I used to work for Games Workshop. So, as a hobby specialist. So, yeah. Massive Warhammer nerd over here. Death Guard are cool. They are very cool. I mainly pick Death Guard because I like Nurgle. I love the concept of, you know, all life, right down to a microscopic level, deserving protection. And I like the concept of taking it to such a degree. Just super cool and interesting. Really nice take on that. And also just the endurance of the Death Guard. Something that's very cool to me. The way they fall to chaos is super messed up. Like most things in 40k. Although I suppose that's technically Horus Heresy, but who's counting? Not me. I'm not. Not my job anymore. But yeah, do you collect Satire? Are you a hobbyist too? It might look like I'm not doing much, but there's a lot of like penis and stuff because I was distracted while I was painting. So I'm just going over and fixing any patchiness if you're wondering what I'm doing. It might not show on cam too much at the moment. Oh, good. There's a part that snapped there. That's annoying. I'm playing Vermintide and Darktide. Ah, oh, they're good. Fantastic games, both of them. Massive fan. both of those games are the kind of game that I play when I want to turn my brain off, if that makes sense. So on Vermintide 2 specifically, I've got I play the dwarf, set him up with the 2 hotshot hand cannons. I'll give it ad break. I'll wait for the ad break to continue that thought. Dark Tide's a ton of fun too. I haven't been on them in so long. But I really should get back on them. I miss splatting rats. And the occasional heretic, I guess, too. Just got ads. I'm sorry about that. For some reason, I'm not getting the warning about ads anymore. And it's really irritating. But yeah, what I was going to say is I set up with the dwarf with with the twin hotshot hand cannons in Vermintide 2. And yeah, just hitting headshots with those in a chain is so satisfying. What are you playing them? Like, do you play all the classes, or have you got a favorite? Been getting the warning. I think it's a setting that I need to change in OBS. I think it's a me issue rather than a channel issue. It's all good, Bucket. It's a me thing because I try and make sure I'm not in mid conversation where the when the ads kick in. But obviously I can't do that if I don't know when they're gonna pop up. Bannon's great. Ironbreaker, a handmaiden. Ooh. Ironbreaker definitely has it for me. By a long shot. Just like I said, just chain shotting those hot shotguns are just so good. Just hearing the repeated ding, 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 ding. And because of the way I've got my Baldur set up, they just go down. And then for all the ones that don't go down in the first shot, you have a big old axe to whack. But I do miss man. I had a good group of people that I used to play that with. I feel like we all moved on to other things though. A little sad, but rest of some of them for Vermintide or something at some point. Get the Rat Splat crew back together. I would like to rage, yes. Oh, don't say that, Corax. When people say the 20s, they'll mean the 2020s. No one wants to remember the 2020s. I feel like the universal experience of the 2020s has been, oh god, please don't let this happen again. Yeah, I prefer the loot system of Vermintide, but I get why they've done what they've done in Darktide. He wasn't happy as well. I think you've just like made everyone in chat unhappy there, Corax. You've upset everyone in chat with that, which is quite impressive. Congratulations. Who wants to remember the 2020s? No one. Especially since we spent half of it in lockdown. Chat will remember this. Oh my goodness. Funny memorable moments you've had. I still think one of the funniest things was a halfling rogue that I used to play with. Went for a backstab on a gargoyle. Missed the backstab, but still ended up on the gargoyle, who then promptly took off. And we ended up having to fish the halfling out of a lake. One of the funniest sessions I have ever had. Because it was just a complete catalogue of goofy errors. But it started with that moment, and I will forever cherish it. We were all like level 4 or 5 at the time. We were not high level characters. We were all rolling like absolute hot trash that game. It was a full on, just absolute comedy of errors. It was great. It was hunting Paladin Hexblade. Ooh. Dealing a killing blow to Yunogu after dealing over 200 damage in a single round. Holy crap, Bucket. That is impressive. Gonna cause more chaos, just pin it. Like the way you think. That is evil. Tell me that sleep should be the problem. That is basically how I'm approaching our Dark Urge playthrough. I'm not gonna lie. Well, can't be the solution. We're gonna be the problem. Gamer group. First wave. A new player's first attack was a nat 20. Dangerous. I mean, to be fair, Ozzy, one of the easiest ways to boost up a threat is just add more. You don't necessarily need to make the individuals tougher, just have more of them. But now, you've got them in a false sense of security. They're going to be like, ah, skeletons, they're easy. And may I introduce you to the concept of mass skeletons? It's something that my GM used to do. They look like ordinary skeletons. But especially if you have clerics, this is fun to do. Now, they're skeletons that are a little bit thicker, a little bit taller than the average one. And they could have the equivalent of about 20 skeletons combined into one body. So the paladin or the cleric goes to turn them and stumble a little bit. And you see some dust fall off. You thought it was successful. But the skeleton's still there and it's still coming towards you. And so you go to attack it and you think you hit it. And again, you know, maybe your bone cracks. But it doesn't look like it does as much damage as you thought it should. And you can just... It was such a good thing that my GM used to do. I used to love it when stuff like that happened. Because you were just sat there like, but it's just a skeleton. Why are we struggling so much with one skeleton? And then afterwards the GM was like, yeah, it was actually a mass skeleton. There are like 35 skeletons combined into one body there. It was really cool, especially because then you have to take into account things like the kind of damage. And my character being an archer, I only really dealt piercing damage. Skeletons are resistant to piercing, and mass skeletons are immune to piercing. So I was hitting them for like 30 damage and actually did nothing. I heard you like skeletons, but now they're minotaurs. That is also a fun one. Yeah, mass skeletons, super fun. Really cool little like monster thing that I've not really seen used outside of my old GM. But we were doing a big, very heavy undead theme dungeon at the time. So, dealt with a lot of undead. Centaur the giant scythe, yeah. 35 skellies making one body. Yeah, BC was nuts. Because we've been fighting regular skeletons this whole time. We're like, you know, like I said, probably 4 levels deep. As in 4 character levels deep into this campaign at this point. And we'd just been fighting regular skeletons. I had no reason to suspect that mass skeletons even existed. Never mind that we were going to find them here. And then this just one skeleton came up, and it could not have played more perfectly. That the fighter just kind of like swaggered up and was like, "I got this, guys. Don't worry, it's just one." And I could see the DM just looking at him like, "Oh, uh-oh." It had the look. The DM had the look of someone who had a secret, and I'm like, "Oh no, we're in trouble." And yeah, smacked it. Nothing happened. But guys, it's one skeleton, and it was beautiful because like the rogue started cackling. Failed his stealth check, so obviously he got spotted by the skeleton. And the paladin rocks up and is like, "You got an undead fiend?" Does nothing. We're all like, "Oh shit, guys. This is not an ordinary skeleton." It was great. Just the way it played out was beautiful. Skeleton version of the Black Knight would be just a calcium deficiency. Basically, yeah. What happened to you, Acid Rain? It sounds amazing. It's so much fun, especially if you don't plant the idea beforehand. If you just have like regular skeletons, maybe you encounter one or two individual regular skeletons. And that's what my RGM did. Like, we had a couple of wandering individuals, so it wasn't uncommon. And we were like, oh, it's just another wandering individual that maybe was just a bit chunkier in life, you know, that kind of a thing. Because it did. The only hint that we got is like, maybe the bones look a little bit thicker than the ones you've seen previously. But other than that, looks exactly the same as all the others. That was the only hint that we got until we started hitting the skeleton, and then it was like, oh shit, we're in trouble. It is so good. It was so much fun. Because I love those moments. I love those moments when you go into it and the whole thing takes a left turn and you're like, oh no, what's this? So much fun. No worries, Leslie. Thank you so much for stopping in. Wonderful to see you as always. Take it easy. I hope the gym goes well. Hey, well, welcome in. Yeah, when the paladin does nothing, that's when you worry. Yeah, it was great. It's so funny. Terrifying at the time, because I thought my character was gonna die. But, yeah. So good. So good. Those are the skeletons that drank their milk. Uh-huh. You can say the Omni Skeleton is looking all directions. Well, that's the thing. It's, you know, however many. I think 35 was the one that we encountered, but we were relatively high level. You can scale it from, like, 10 to 100 if you really wanted to. Depending on the difficulty. But there's more consciousnesses. I think that's the word. You know, they've got that increased health pool, they've got that increased damage buff, the increased resistance. But theoretically, their perception is going to be higher than the average skeleton. Depending on how your undead work. So they theoretically could negate sneak attacks. But no, we had a rule that like if you spoke out of character 3 times, whatever you said next, your character would say, regardless of whether you intended it or not. And our rogue was very bad at that rule. But quite often ended up getting spotted because he said something out of turn. And GM's like, 3-strike rule. Your character just pipes out with that. Because you quite often make smart ass comments about NPCs. And they'll be like, oh, no, sorry, my character doesn't say that, that's just me. Like, Can't get away with that forever, dude. We had the 3-strike rule. And the number of times he got caught because he was making a smart ass comment as him was so funny. Skelly Voltron. How's it going, Will? I hope you're doing well. Oh, also, sisters are great. Sororitas look great. If you ever want a hand with anything GW related, let me know. Because I used to work for them. So, as a hobby advisor. So, the offer of help there was genuine. I'm not a hobby advisor anymore, but I was up until about Christmas time. I'm looking forward to seeing what stories come out of next weekend's shenanigans. Because I haven't rolled dice in too long. I miss it. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I've had the idea for a sprout for a little while. A little bit different to my usual style of character. Um, but gonna be very sweet. Curious to see what Cage has got in store for us. Bear with me, folks. Tumble be our shield. He needs a shower. Never played Marshall before? That's cool. I usually play fighters and clerics. So I've never really played as spellcaster before. I mainly play fighters, clerics, rogues. So almost exclusively martial. Do I have plenty of questions? Go for it. Go for it. If you want a good lore book for Sororitas, the Celestine novel is phenomenal, if you've not already read it. It is such a good book. I'm so annoyed at myself because I gave away my copy. And it was the really nice hardback version, which they don't sell anymore. So, yeah. That's annoying. My own stupid fault, but still irritating. You haven't read it? Thoroughly recommend it. You managed to get a hold of a copy. Very, very good. Book 4 of Horus Heresy. Oh, which one? Not Flight of the Eisenstein, is it? Or is it the one that comes after that? I can never remember what order they go in. It is. Oh, I love Flight of the Eisenstein. That is one of my favourites, because I'm a massive Death Guard nerd. So. Oh, I hope you're enjoying it. I really hope you're enjoying it. I am going to be right back, folks. I need to change my painting water. So I will be back in 2 moments. Thank you for bearing with me. Sorry about that. We're back. Halfway through. Nice. Wonder if the version's being clean? I mean... I'm just saying, Sprout isn't exactly the most hygienic individual either. He would probably say something about it. I mean, if you spend all your time running around a forest, you're not going to be clean and pristine, are you? That's all I'm going to say. Eight or 9 years ago? Yeah. I dip in and out of the Horus Heresy series. I've read probably about half of them at various different points of the series. But one of the things I love about them is that you don't have to read them in order. I'd say read the first 4, and then after that it's not really important what order you read them in. But Flight of the Eisenstein is one of my favourites. I also really love Legion and Master of Mankind, and the First Heretic. All really cool. Audiobook enjoyer. Just added Celestine to your library? Oh, that's great. That makes me extremely happy. That reminds me, I need to start using my Audible again. I'm not out the habit of using. I have a few books to listen to there. I can't vouch for the audio reading of it, but the actual book itself is phenomenal. One of my favourite 40k novels. Especially if you're a Sororitas fan. Share. I was up until the army box came out, and that's purely because I was working customer service that weekend. It kind of put me off him a wee bit after that. That was a rough experience. Is that? Oh, no worries. Sorry to hear it. That's cool. As informant, thanks for the heads up bucket. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was back when I was working customer service, and it was just me managing customer service for the release weekend of the Sororitas Army box set. One of the most highly anticipated box sets at the time. And yeah, that was a rough experience. Especially since the website fell over for about 3 hours, I think, if I remember rightly. And I'll always remember that because it was probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had working. Ever. And then I went straight from that to a ghost concert. Indeed, thank you for the posture check. I hope everyone's sitting comfortably. Don't forget to stretch. Relax your shoulders. Clench your jaw. Step away from the screen. Ad breaks in 2 minutes, so it's a good chance to stretch your legs. Having issues with the website the other day. It might have been because the final Siege of Terror limited edition was on sale. If the queue was popping up, that would be why. Because that thing just broke the website. Both times it went on sale. People are insane about those books. Then I'm painting. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, which order are you going for? I have Celestine and her Gemini. Or Gemini. I can't remember how to. Her two attendants. Painted and in a cabinet somewhere. They were a lot of fun. I loved painting Celestine. She's such a cool model to paint. Oh, if it's not processing a payment, if you're using PayPal bucket, that will probably be it. Works better with direct card payment. A pro tip for you. But if you ever get payment issues, clear your browser cache and cookies, close the browser entirely, every single tab, then reopen it, and it should work once you log back in. Can you tell I've dealt with a couple of those in the past? Speaking from experience. That's the usual fix. And if that doesn't fix it, then you'll need to get CS to take a look for you. And tell them I say hi. Sorry, I went into CS mode there. I apologize. HTML text. Interesting. Interesting bucket. That's probably the new website then. I left like maybe 1 or 2 weeks after the new website got implemented. So I can't comment on that, unfortunately. Can we just ban ads, please? Irritatingly frequent. Hey, awesome, that welcome in. It is Wonderful Mama K. One on the box. Order of the Bloody Rose. That's it, Willtop. You went into your local shop. Yeah. I will say, don't worry about saying it's trash fire. I would say email customer service, but they know. Believe me, they know. We got, I say we, the team, my old team, got over 1,000 emails the day the new site went live. Nearly all of them complaining about it. So believe me, they know. It's an ongoing issue, I imagine. I think I worked customer service for probably a year and a half before I did the hobby advising. And I did the hobby advising for about 2 years, so... Worked very closely with them for a long time. But moving on to other things. Which, as it turned out, a lot better. A lot more suited to me than what I was doing. As fun as that job could be. Did rush it out. Yeah. I can't comment on that, honestly, Bucket. I wasn't involved in that aspect of the business. I don't understand the decision to push it rather than hold it. I'm sure there was a perfectly logical reason to someone somewhere, but it was not a decision that I was privy to during my time there. Decisions about the website were well above my pay grade while I was working there. To put it bluntly. Like to know rationale to roll. Oh, that was probably a logistical one. Because so Forge World and Games Workshop are the same. They're one company. But the number of people who didn't know that, it was just causing confusion. I don't know why they rolled it all into one website. Well, rolling it into one website makes sense. I don't know any more than that, necessarily, but it was all fulfilled from the same site anyway. At least for the most part. But Forge World and Games Workshop have always been... They're all owned by... sorry. Warhammer and Forge World are both owned by Games Workshop. Games Workshop's the parent company. And further down the hobby shop for the no, it's cool. Like I said, most people don't realise that Forge World and Citadel are the same company. Because I don't know why, but I think it was just to kind of streamline things a little bit. And just sort of be like, hey, no, it's all Warhammer. It's cool. Like, Forge World aren't a third-party thing. They're produced directly by the same people who produce the plastics. I think it is that misconception that has got, you know, the parent company going, maybe we should kind of reassert our claim over Forge World a little bit. Yeah. Well, I know that there is a move to kind of move Games Workshop to Warhammer specifically, because Games Workshop is the parent brand. Again, I can't speak to all the business decisions. You know, that was never part of my job. But it makes sense, because then they don't have to restrict themselves to just Citadel products to avoid confusion as well. They can bring Forge World to more people, they can cut back library in more places, they can, you know. And it stops the confusion with Warhammer art and Warhammer merch as well. Because they're like, why? What's Warhammer and what's Games Workshop and what's all this? Yeah. You dropped the hobby after your local shut down? Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that, Oz. Or did it came force them to push stuff? I'm sorry to hear that. Like I said, I only ever worked on the UK side of things, and I was only a customer service agent and specialist customer service agent, basically. So I can't speak to the wider business. So everything I'm saying, heavy caveat, it is my personal opinion. It is not official Games Workshop opinion or anything like that. Please do not take anything I say as gospel truth. But I have a lot of experience with Games Workshop in general. And you know, how many other people can say they've worked multiple roles at the HQ? That you know anyway. Guarantee there aren't many. They're both of my last 3 roles? Not including my current job, which I'm not disclosing where I work for because privacy. But my 3 previous jobs were all based at Warhammer World. Pretty cool. It's cool to see Warhammer becoming more mainstream, more well-known. I hope it's a trend that continues to influence the hobby positively. Because regardless of whether I work for them or not, I do want GW to succeed. For the simple fact that I have a lot of friends still at the company. And my partner works there still, so. You know. I think a lot of assumptions are made about how GW operate that probably are less accurate than people realise. Nearly made me jump in a detail bit. Indy, thank you for the hydrate. I hope everyone's got something tasty to drink. My way through a protein shake still, because that's all I've had today. I hope everyone's got something tasty. To be fair, with that in mind, I will probably be finishing stream shortly. Anyone interested on how much longer I'm going? As I should probably go get some lunch. And you know, have a weekend. I've not had much of a weekend this week, and I know next week's busy, so advantage of having some time this afternoon. And go do just something mind-numbingly relaxing, as one of my work colleagues put it. I want to do some face details on Karlach. We've made some pretty good progress on this today. I'm quite happy with how she's turning out so far. Make sure that we keep this up. D&D night? Will you drink enough coffee to be too awake to sleep? I'm not sure yet, Indy. I need to work out what time D&D is on my side, because obviously I've got Friday stream, and then I'll have to stream Saturday as well because I'm busy Sunday. So I need to work out how Friday, Saturday stream and D&D all fit together around sleep. So that kind of like 48-hour period is going to be incredibly jam-packed for me. Because I need to, you know, sleep, eat, take care of myself. But I'll work it out. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. I just need to actually carve out some time to look at it. But I don't think there's going to be much Baldur's Gate next weekend for me, sadly. I think next week is going to be a wee bit busy for me. Just because I know the patchiness on the shoulder will bother me if I don't do it now. Oh, my work colleagues know about my Baldur's Gate obsession, Indy. They know. Hey Salem, where did I get a Karlach mini? So this was actually found on Etsy. This is someone who's modeled and 3D printed it. It's not official. I will say, if support the official channel, support Larian first and foremost. But since this is for my own collection, I don't feel too bad. But yeah, this was Etsy. Hang on, I have stuff right here. So the individual, or the studio, I guess, I got it from a Mimic Hobby. They are... There we go, that's details in mirror because it's it's a camera. Unfortunately I can't mirror that back to you all, but yeah, Mimic Hobby on Etsy. Oh, where I got this one? I got this one, and then they've got a couple of other Baldur's Gate ones, which I'll be painting in the future. I will stress they are unofficial fan arts. They're not 100% accurate to the game. But they are very good. And incredibly high quality prints. I'm very impressed with the print. And just evening up some base coat. Sorry, just tuned in. Hey, Cthulhu. Do you say the creator has other companions? They do. They do indeed. I honestly cannot remember off the top of my head all of them. But I know they definitely have Astarion, if you're an Astarion fan. I'm fairly sure they also had Shadowheart. They're the ones that I can remember for certain, because they're the ones that I was looking at. They might have others. If they do, I apologise, I can't remember. Me at Karlach and Astarion. A fan after my own heart. Karlach and Astarion are my two favourites too. I am also a big Minsk fan though. I adore Minsk. He is wonderful. Actually jumped? I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Wombat. Sorry. Here. Thank you. Yeah, they're great. You do have to wait a little while for the prints to be ready, but it's worth the wait if you're planning to order from them. Massive Boo fan? Yeah. Who doesn't love Boo? Miniature giant space hamster. Oh, yeah. I know who you mean. Now I know what you're talking about, Wombat. And yes, that makes me jump every time. I will say, if you want to talk Baldur's Gate merch, unofficial still, because Larian, please, you're killing me here. I want to give you money. My favourite bit of Baldur's Gate merch is this. This is from Pokepaws. Is my favourite bit of Baldur's Gate merch that I've got. It does shake. There's a little shaker jam. He rattles about. Very cool. Wimfrin. Yeah, he hangs on my my microphone. So if you hear something rattling on my mic, it's probably that little friend causing problems as usual. Yeah, that lives on my mic stand. I spent the night with a I read that piece, Cindy. We've all seen the fan art. Thank you, Dave Jones, for making me blush in the workplace. I opened Twitter for a scroll and oh, Dave Jones has been online and now I can't show my phone to anyone. Blessing and a curse to us all. Yeah, I'm very lucky in that I've been able to acquire some really cool pieces of Baldur's Gate merch. Wherever possible, I support, artists, I support the game directly, but Larian need to give us more options to throw money at them. Because I run out of options and I need more merch in my life. Alright, you have to go to bed? No worries, Bucket. Take it easy. Thank you so much, as always, for stopping in. Thank you for the resub. I hope you have a good night. Take care of yourself. Reference quickly. Alright, I think actually I'll probably have to leave it there, sadly. I think I'm gonna have to return to Mama K next week. Because I've been painting for a few hours now. Or 2.5 hours, and I am quite tired. I need to give my hands a break. But I'll be back next weekend, painting more Mama K. I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this for a while. And we all love Karlach. Yeah, if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, Twitter is the best place to go. Kifuli, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, you can find all my stuff. Is that the right one? I never get this command right. There's all the links that you need for stuff and things. Twitter is the one where I'm most active. That's where you see all of my Baldur's Gate ramblings. I'll be back next week with Dark Urge and Oathbreaker playthroughs and more Mama K, because we all need more Mama K in our life. Thank you, Will. I appreciate it. I'll be posting some photos as well, progress photos and all that jazz. I need to get back into the habit of doing that. Yeah, I'll be back next week. Schedule will be a little bit wonky, so please keep an eye out for that. I should be painting on Saturday next week rather than Sunday. But I'll keep you all updated. In the meantime, thank you all very much for joining me. Thank you for the awesome conversation, the gift subs, the follows. I really, really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now, folks.